Definition of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is the energy held in the nucleus of an atom. It can be obtained through two types of reactions, fusion and fission. Nuclear fission produces energy through the splitting of atoms, which releases heat energy that can generate steam and then can be used to turn a turbine to produce electricity. Nuclear fusion is a nuclear reaction in which two or more atomic nuclei collide at a very high speeds and join to form a new type of atomic nucleus.
Okay, so nuclear energy, it's called that way because it's the energy of the atoms. So there's a lot of energy stored in atoms' nucleus. So we can use this type of energy to generate electricity. But for that, we need to release that energy. But to do that, we do this process called fission. That simply it just separates the atom in two.
The origin and development of the nuclear power is based on three phases. The first one is based on scientific, physics and chemical studies or scientific investigations. The second one is based on development of the nuclear bomb on the World War II. And the third one and the last one is the implement of nuclear power on society.
Physics and chemical studies. Several Greek philosophers began to define what an atom was. Starting with Democritus, he was the first to give us a definition of the atom as the smallest constituent part of the matter. Later, as a step for the discovery of nuclear power, nuclear fission manages to divide the atoms in order to obtain energy. In 1896, physicist Anthony Henry found that elements such as uranium produce something called radiation of an unknown origin. Thanks to his discovery, he was called the father of the nuclear energy. After Albert Einstein carried out his studies related to energy, in 1939, at the beginning of the World War II, Einstein recommended to President Roosevelt the creation of the atomic bomb. He believed that an uranium-based nuclear chain reaction was possible and that will expel a huge amount of energy. In 1945, the first nuclear bomb on Hiroshima was launched.
Okay, so we continue with the impacts that has the nuclear energy among everything. So we have the environmental and social impacts that are kind of the same, but not really, because the environmental impacts are that many times the scientists don't know like how to get rid of the waste, of the nuclear waste, so they only throw it away maybe in a lake or. Okay, so as we can have like the bad impacts, we also have the good impacts, which means in electricity. This is the can be translated into scientific and technological impacts because we have more electricity for a lower cost. Because generating nuclear energy, the generation of nuclear energy generates a lot of energy, and so it's better impact for the. It can also be a good impact into the society because it will be cheaper, and so having electricity and even more.
Okay, so there's been a lot of controversy about this type of energy because it can cause a lot of damage. An example of that is Chernobyl. We all know how that power plant damaged that city. So there's a lot of countries that don't accept and don't allow to install this type of nuclear plants. But in the past few years, there's a lot of countries that started generating a lot of this energy.
Let's talk about process of nuclear energy. Nuclear reactor creates heat that is used to make steam. The steam turns a turbine connected to an electromagnet called a generator. The generator produces electricity. That is basically the process of nuclear energy. Advantages and disadvantages. One of the advantages is that produces no polluting gases, does not contribute to global warming, low fuel costs, power station has very long lifetime, and low fuel quantity reduces mining and transportation's effects on environment. The disadvantage, large-scale accidents can be catastrophic, cannot react quickly to change in electricity demand. Cost of building and safely decommissioning are very high. Waste is radioactive and safe disposal is very difficult and expensive.